du Netzletter schon?
Was meinst du mit Netzletter?
Ach nee, Entschuldigung, ich bin schon zu. Ich hab was. Bin in der Zeile verrutscht. Ist okay, ist okay.
Nice place. Tidy. Nothing incriminating that I can see.
People rarely leave anything incriminating out in the open. It's time to have a look around.
That's odd. There are some scratches on the floor next to that statue. How about that? Looks like we found Singing Tom's buried treasure.
Let's just see what we have here.
Liebste Priscilla, meine Pläne sind fertig geschmiedet. Ich werde dich bald in Cormorant besuchen. Bitte denk daran, dass das Leben in New-Bretagne sehr hart ist. Ich sehe deshalb möglicherweise stärker gealtert aus, als du es erwarten würdest. Ned.
Falsch! Nur weil Ned plötzlich ein Alien auf dem Kopf hat. Oh mein Gott.
Interesting stuff. But what about the box itself? It seems Puffin's gun has gone missing. He should really take better care of his things. Jenkins and Bowen. The name shares the initials that were on the murder weapon. That's quite a coincidence, wouldn't you say?
I would if I believed in coincidences.
Things are starting to fall into place here, Miles. Between the letters, the missing gun, and what Edwards told us about the effects of opium, I think we have enough evidence to consider Puffin a suspect.
Oh my.
Puffin's music room is a bit lacking in comparison to the one in the painting. So Puffin plays at home too? His poor neighbors. Huh. I was wondering when he was going to show up. Puffin's daily planner. The man leads an even more boring life than you. Who knew that was even possible? Music books. Clearly Puffin has never touched them. The look in her eye tells me she's probably hiding something. No point wasting time searching Puffin's bedroom. I have a feeling that if there's something to find, it's here in the sitting room.
It's empty.
Oh my.
He won't be much more help right now. Leave him to his practice. He really needs it.
Ich denke, wir haben den Fall gelöst.
Can we talk for a moment, Upton?
Haben wir denn
Certainly.
alles?
What's on your mind?
I'll let you get back to work.
Hast du, stopp,
And
bevor
you'd better
du,
do the same.
hast du zu Dr. Edwards schon über Opium gesprochen?
Ja.
Na dann kannst du loslegen.
Aber ich kann bei Commistance aus irgendwelchen Gründen
Can
nur
we
den
talk?
Fall
Certainly.
nochmal durchgehen, aber nicht den Fall abschließen.
I'm guessing you can't go over this case with me either.
I have to distance myself
Du musst zu Morgens
completely from this
Bäckerei
one.
gehen
So
und musst
when you
dort
figure
nochmal
it
mit
out,
Emily
you'll
Morgan
need to speak
sprechen.
directly to Mrs. Morgan. I can still try and help you if there's something specific giving you trouble.
I'll let you get.
And
Und dann sprichst du mit ab.
Ah,
Nur dann kannst du den Fall zumachen.
oder gehe ich vorher noch zu Ned und erzähle ihm, dass sein Onkel tatsächlich ihm die Braut ausspannen wollte.
Laut Lösung musst du jetzt zu Emily Morgan gehen.
You got time for a few more questions, Mrs. Morgan?
Yes, of course.
I've completed my investigation of your brother's murder, Mrs. Morgan.
You have? Oh, that's such a relief to hear. Who killed him?
It was Tom Puffin, choir master at St. Denis Cathedral.
What? But why would a member of the church do something like that?
Puffin is in love with his nephew Ned's fiancée, Priscilla. He's even gone so far as to intercept their letters and write to each of them under false pretenses. Mr. Puffin is also an avid opium user and is prone to fits of rage as well as hallucinations. The evening of the murder, Puffin was at the Silent Raven, and in his opium-induced fog mistook your brother for Ned. He had his pistol on him, and his rage and jealousy got the better of him. Poor Ronan was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And what about the clothes he was wearing? Or why he was in Chumley in the first place?
I'm afraid your brother fell victim to a cooping gang. They dragged him to Chumley and forced him to vote multiple times. He was wearing someone else's clothes as part of a disguise.
My poor brother. So what happens now?
Now, I'll inform Miss Upton of my findings, and she'll send an officer along to arrest Puffin. From there, justice will be served accordingly.
I see. Thank you for your help, Mr. Fordham.
Tom Puffin?
Yes, may I help you, officer?
You're under arrest for the murder of Ronan Lespay.
What? Oh, God. So it wasn't a dream.
Come along, sir. We need to question you at the station.
You know, Miles, you've been coming in here a lot lately, but you've never looked quite this glum. What's going on?
I've bungled things pretty badly at home. Been staying with a friend the past couple of weeks.
I see. What happened?
I haven't been honest with my wife. Coming here and drowning my sorrows hasn't really helped, oddly enough. And yet, it's all I can do to keep from going crazy.
You know, Miles, I've seen and heard a lot of things over the years. Some of the stories would turn your hair white. But through it all, I've come to learn one thing. It's usually not too late to make things better, but only if you let yourself try.
Thank you for the advice, Patrick.
All I can do is give it, Miles. Whether you choose to take it or not is entirely up to you. Now, would you like another gin?
No, thank you. This time I really do need to be on my way. I should go and see how my wife is doing.
I see. Well, have a good night, Miles. And good luck to you.
Es kann nur schlimmer werden.
who in the ether?
Wenn es so erfolgreich ist wie mit einem anderen, ja.
Miles? This is a surprise.
Du hättest auch zurück zu Upton gehen können.
Hallo, mein Schatz, ich vergebe dir.
Das darfst du nicht sagen und du darfst nicht vermeiden, ihr die Wahrheit zu erzählen.
Addie, it's so good to see you. I've been such an idiot lately.
Well, I'm glad you can admit to it. Would you like to come in?
Very much.
Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Oha, ich wollte mal nachschauen, wie es dir geht. Ich wollte mich dafür entschuldigen, wie ich mich benommen habe. Ich wollte dir endlich die Wahrheit sagen. Warum kann ich nicht alles 3 anklicken?
Sag einfach die Wahrheit.
I've given it a lot of thought, and I think it's time I finally told you the truth.
Miles, what are you doing? You know this is a terrible idea.
The truth?
About why I've been acting the way I have been since Bill died.
Well, go on. I'm listening.
Don't do it, Miles. You know it's a one-way ticket to Riverview if you do.
I've been hearing Bill's voice ever since he died.
Fordham, what is wrong with you?
His voice?
I can't believe this! You've just destroyed your life! I hope you realize that!
Yes, in my head, at all hours. That's why I was taking the soporific. It was the only way to keep him quiet. Or so I thought. Turns out that alcohol has the same effect.
What does he say to you?
The type of things he'd say when he was alive. Snarky comments, inappropriate jokes. Mainly he nags me to find the flower shop burglar. He thinks doing that will let him find peace and move on.
I see.
I told you you'd think I was crazy.
Don't be ridiculous, Miles. It's nothing like that. It's just, I wish you had told me sooner is all.
I know, but I was afraid.
Well, I'm glad you finally trusted me. You know, you could have all along.
So, you're all right with it?
It is quite a lot to take in. I think I'll need some time to mull it over. But what matters now is that we can work through this together.
I understand. Well, I should probably go. It was lovely to see you again, Addie.
Lovely to see you too, Miles.
Perhaps I'll stop by again next week?
Or sooner, if you'd like.
Sure. Like the men in white coats aren't gonna have you taken away by then.
Right. I'll see myself out then.
Good night, Miles.
Fordham, wake up.
He just leapt over the side. Oh, Upton. What's going on?
Goodness, Fordham. You look terrible. Is everything all right?
Just had some trouble sleeping. More than usual.
Well, I hope you've rested enough, because I've got something very important to show you.
Oh, wonderful. If we're sharing information now, are you gonna tell Upton about me as well?
What is it?
There's been a murder.
I assume this one is special somehow, or you wouldn't be bringing it to me.
I thought that great detectives never assumed.
There are exceptions to every rule.
Anyway, you're right. The victim in question is a member of Parliament, a man named Percival McDonough, to be precise. But this is the real corker. The murder is clearly the work of the Justice Killer.
The Justice Killer? Is that the mass murderer I've been hearing about?
The very same.
Why Justice Killer, though?
It's part of his modus operandi. He kills his victims with a single gunshot to the head, then writes the word justice somewhere in the room with the victim's blood.
Talk about melodramatic.
The police are stumped. This is the killer's 5th victim, and there isn't a single lead.
So you want me to investigate?
Not just yet. First, I need you to look at these sketches.
You took crime scene sketches from the department?
Of course not. I made copies with the station's Pharaoh duplicator. These killings need to stop, and I believe you can succeed where the department has so far failed.
So, what am I looking for?
The police went over each crime scene with a fine-toothed comb and turned up practically no useful physical evidence. I want a second opinion from you. If you can find some sort of link between them, it might be possible to track this monster down.
It's a shot in the dark. I can't guarantee I'll find anything that the police didn't see, but it's worth a look.
Here are the 4 sketches. Have a look at them and see if you notice anything that might help us find this maniac.
Gucken uns doch erstmal die Zeitung an. Spiritualist aus Gascogne wegen Betrugs verhaftet. Angela Maxwell, Oberhaupt der Gesellschaft für Geisterkunde in Gascogne, wurde gestern unter Betrugsverdacht festgenommen. Umfassende verdeckte Ermittlungen der Polizei von New Bretagne haben ins Tageslicht gebracht, dass sie ihre Kunden um ihr Geld gebracht hat. Der Ermittler Lester Barnett hat unter falschem Namen an mehreren Sitzungen teilgenommen und hat Miss Maxwell falsches Spiel durchleuchtet. Sie behauptet, ihr Klient sei verflucht und würde anbieten, ihr gegen eine Gebühr zu heilen. Die Kunden bezahlen nach und nach exorbitante Summen, um von diesem Fluch geheilt zu werden. Der Vertreter der Polizei von New Bretagne warnte, wir bitten die Öffentlichkeit bei Spiritualisten hellhörig zu werden. Tatsächlich werden hier meist nur die Trauer und Schwäche von Hinterbliebenen ausgenutzt. Oh wow.
Das ist die Blonde, ne?
Ja,
Haben wir das verursacht? Nee, ne?
Ich glaube nicht. Ich hoffe nicht. Festnahme wegen Wahlkampfmord. Ronan Laspey, der beim Tierpräparator Gripsholm angestellt war, wurde in der Wahlkampfnacht außerhalb der Kneipe Silent Raven in Chamonix gemordet. Gemäß der Polizei von New Bretagne ist der Täter Tom Puffin, Chorleiter in der St. Denis Kathedrale. Nach unbestimmten Zeugenaussagen verwechselte Puffin Laspey mit seinem Neffen, den er eigentlich umbringen wollte. Er tötete stattdessen aus Versehen Laspey. Angeblich befand sich der Täter unter Opiumeinfluss. Puffin wurde wegen Mordes mit bedingtem Vorsatz festgenommen und wird im November vor Gericht stehen. Laspey war gemäß Aussagen seiner Schwester lebenslustig und ein begeisterter Freund von Büchern und Reisen, auch wenn er selbst Vespuccia anscheinend nie verlassen hat. Für die Kosten der Beerdigung wird gesammelt. Fortsetzung Seite 8. Edward wegen angeblichem Wahlbetrug ist im Kreuzfeuer. Nach dem überwältigenden Wahlsieg hat Hart Leroy gegen Herbert Edward erzielte, ist die Wahl erneut Mittelpunkt des Interesses. Es ist, da der Vorwurf des Wahlbetrugs gegen Edward laut wird. Angeblich sollen Männer, die von Edwards Wahlkampagne bezahlt wurden, Unbeteiligte betrunken gemacht haben. Diese sollen dann gezwungen worden sein, mehrfach in Verkleidung für Edward zu stimmen, um dessen Chancen einer Wiederwahl zu steigern. Die Opfer wurden in einem kleinen Raum eingefecht und gezwungen, sich umzuziehen, um mehrfach wählen zu können. Nach getaner Arbeit wurden sie dann betäubt in Seitenstraßen ausgesetzt. Selbst diese verbrecherischen Taktiken verhalfen Edward nicht zum Sieg. Wir wissen von diesen Verbrechen wegen der Aussage eines Anführers einer Wahlbetrugsbande, der aussagen will. Fortsetzung Seite 10.
Das war der Rotschopf im Knast, ne?
Oh. Der sich dadurch wahrscheinlich erhofft,
Freigesprochen zu werden.
ja, oder zumindest,
Also so ein Deal, dass er halt nicht in den Knast muss, wenn er das verrät.
ja, oder vielleicht wenigstens nicht für so ewig lange. Massenmörder versetzt Bürger in Angst und Schrecken. Die Stimmung in New Bretagne und insbesondere in Chamonix ist geprägt von Verunsicherung und Angst. Der Justice Killer hat inzwischen 4 Opfer, bei denen keine Gemeinsamkeiten erkennbar sind, das Leben gekostet. Das macht es so beängstigend, äußerte sich Simon Banks aus Chamonix. Man kann einfach nicht sicher sein, dass man selbst nicht als nächstes dran ist. Inzwischen fege ich die Schornsteine nicht mehr nach Einbruch der Dunkelheit. Um Stellungnahme gebeten, konnte die Polizei keine neuen Informationen liefern, bittet aber die Bürger auf der Hut zu sein und nicht Unbekannten die Tür zu öffnen. Gerüchte über eine Ausgangssperre wurden nie bestätigt. Wer Informationen hat, die zur Ergreifung des Täters führen können, soll unbedingt Kontakt mit der Polizei von New Bretagne aufnehmen. Na denn.
If only you hadn't told Adelaide about me, I might share my thoughts with you. As it is, you're on your own. If only... Whoever drew this was a hack. That looks more like a piece of toast than a
War
flower.
doch pissig. Erzählt doch dieses Maul jetzt.
What's the point? It's not like you're actually going to be able to investigate this case. I don't feel like looking at dead bodies right now. Is there something more exciting we could be doing? Oh, were you hoping for some witty insight? Shame, because you're not getting any. I'm sure this is terribly relevant, but I've got nothing to say about it. I'm really not in the mood to be analyzing crime scene sketches right now. Yeah, he's dead. Big deal. Boring. 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 Boring.
Ich weiß nicht warum, aber ich finde das unfassbar witzig.
Boring, just like everything else in this sketch.
Interesting.
Oh, what? You actually found something without my help? I'm shocked. Maybe you should write crazy over your bed. Wait, what's that? I see an important clue. Just kidding.
Upton?
What is it, Fordham?
About those crime scene sketches.
Yes?
I think I found a connection.
I knew you would. What is it?
There's a single flower at each crime scene. They look deliberately placed.
There is? Let me have a look. You're right. One lily at each scene.
Wait, what did you say?
These flowers, they're lilies. Easter lilies, I think.
I don't believe it.
Upton, this is incredible. This is the lead I've been searching for.
What? You mean for another case?
The flower shop burglar. He was stealing Easter lilies. And I distinctly remember him saying something about his desire to uphold justice. At the time, I thought it was just the rambling of a lunatic, but now it seems so obvious.
So the flower shop burglar is the justice killer?
It seems too much of a coincidence otherwise.
Well, then that's wonderful. You can kill two birds with one stone. Excellent work, Fordham. I knew you could do it.
Everything all right with you?
Oh, I'm getting by. I expect things will go back to normal once this killer is caught.
I haven't worn out my welcome here yet, have I?
No, you're still tolerable. But when was the last time you washed your hair?
You're starting to sound like Adelaide. What exactly are the details regarding this justice killer?
The killings began a few months ago, and so far he's claimed 5 victims. The department wanted to keep this information out of the public eye to prevent a panic, but word has gotten out. On the bright side, it makes your involvement in the case much less suspicious.
What can you tell me about the previous victims?
4 men from Chumley: Hannibal Kirkland, Reggie Willingham, Ennis Bowditch, and Burley Cause. No known connection between any of them aside from the borough they lived in. I have copies of the police reports from each of the crime scenes. Go ahead and take them.
Thank you, Upton. What are the details regarding the killer's latest victim?
As I mentioned, the victim is Percival McDonough, a member of Parliament. He was found this morning by his secretary in his office. I expect the official investigation is still underway.
So the killer managed to get into the Houses of Parliament. No easy feat.
You can say that again. It's the killer's first high-profile victim. It means he's getting bolder.
I suppose I'll have to drop by and see for myself. I should get back to it.
Not a bad idea.
Right. I think I have enough information to get started. I think I'll begin with...
Odd. I wasn't expecting company. Chief Snelling?
Uh-oh.
Upton, we need to talk. Fordham, I should have guessed I'd find you here.
Oh. Was sag ich jetzt zu Chief Smelling?
Was Smelling gesagt?
Ja, ich nenne ihn schon die ganze Zeit Smelling.
Ernst ist dir doch gar nicht aufgefallen.
Ich habe keinerlei Respekt für dieses Individuum.
Moment. Ich... sag nicht, dass du Upton gesagt hast, dass es falsch war, die Sketches zu nehmen.
Alles andere ist egal.
Und du darfst nicht sagen, dass es Uptons Fault ist. Du darfst sie also im Prinzip nicht beschuldigen.
Chief Snelling,
Du
aren't you
darfst sie nicht
supposed
vors
to be
Loch
out
schieben und
trying to
nicht
catch the
beschuldigen.
Justice Killer?
Appropriate that you should bring that up, Fordham. That's precisely why I'm here. Those are some rather interesting decorations. Would either of you care to explain how they got here?
And once again, the jig is up. I hope you can talk your way out of this one, too.
I brought them here, after I made duplicates and took them from the police department.
Nice try, Fordham, but I know for a fact that isn't true. The Ferroduplicator makes a report of every employee who uses it, as well as what was copied. A rather useful feature for instances such as these. Wouldn't you agree?
These gadgets are going to be the undoing of us all.
In any case, I did some digging and discovered some intriguing information. Upton, why have you been passing on classified police information to Mr. Fordham?
Because he's the best detective you ever had on the force, and you know it.
Is that right? Personally, I don't consider getting your partner killed the mark of a great detective. But what's done is done. Constance Upton, your employment with the New Britannia Police Department is hereby terminated.
But
I should add that it's only because of your 25 years of dedicated service that I'm not pressing charges against you. But as for you, Fordham, I have enough evidence to place you under arrest for obstruction of justice and interfering with police investigations. Do you have anything to say in your defense before I take you in for questioning?
Wir wissen nicht, wer der Justice Killer ist, aber...
Die beste Möglichkeit, alles klingt sofort lochschieberisch.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. I know who the Justice Killer is.
Fordham, if this is your idea of a diversion...
It's true. I found a link in the sketches of the crime scenes.
All right, let's hear it then. What do you think you found?
I'll tell you if you promise to let me take the case.
Out of the question, Fordham. This is a police matter.
And the police haven't made progress in months. Fordham figured it out in a matter of minutes. Admit it, Snelling. Fordham is your best shot at finding the killer. Are you gonna let your personal differences put the people of this city in danger?
Fine. I'll let you continue to operate as an assistant in this case, if you have actually found something of value. Now, what is this link?
He leaves a single Easter lily at each crime scene. The same type of flowers the burglar and the chum was stealing.
I see. A tenuous link, but plausible. I'll give you until tomorrow afternoon. If you haven't come up with anything, I'm throwing you in jail.
Sounds fair to me.
And don't get any clever ideas about leaving town, either.
Come now, would I do something like that?
Fordham, it seems there's no telling what you might do. I'm probably a fool for not clapping you in irons right here and now. When you have something to report, come find me in my office. Don't make me regret this.
Well, that went better than I expected.
Except you're still fired. I didn't have a chance to get him to change his mind.
We'll worry about that after you catch the killer. In the meantime, I could use a drink. I'll see you later, Fordham.
Well, better get to work then. The clock is ticking.
Wow.
Arbeitslos ist noch kein deutscher Job. Ich geh trinken, ich zähle mich schon wieder ein. Perfekt.
Fordham, what brings you to this delightful spectacle?
Hello, Edwards. I'm investigating the Justice Killer. I believe I've got a very promising lead.
I heard an officer mention new orders from Snelling, but I thought he was just pulling my leg. Feel free to have a look around. I'm just writing up the notes from my initial examination of the body, so I'll be happy to share my findings.
Good. I'll just get started then.
Nothing but a bunch of boring documents. You You'd think he could have at least been considerate enough to keep something scandalous in here. Biographies and autobiographies. Dull, dull, dull. History. The former Percival McDonough, being a good politician. Odd. The page for this month has been torn out. You suppose Edwards might know anything about that? Leave it to a politician to hang a portrait of himself in his own office. No signs of forced entry that I can see. The murderer didn't come in through this window.
Und wo ist die Osterlilie?
Looks pretty fresh. I wonder what the killer uses to write with.
So, hast du im Casebook schon alle Reports gelesen?
Hannibal Kirkland, 32. Kopfschuss. Eisenkocher bei der Eisenhütte Thorborn, Chamoldey. Polizei fand Kirkland in seiner Wohnung, nachdem sein Vorarbeiter angezeigt hatte, dass er nicht zur Arbeit erschienen war. Außer dem Wort Justice, das am Tatort in Blut geschrieben stand. Nichts Ausfälliges am Tatort, keine Zeugen, nichts von Interesse in Kirklands Privatleben ermittelt. Oh! Reggie Willingham. 47 Kopfschutz, Fahrer bei Taxi Colson. Polizei fand Willingham zu Hause und Arbeitgeber eine Vermisstenanzeige aufgab, Tat untersucht, aber keine ungewöhnlichen Dinge festgestellt, bis auf das Wort Justice. Keine Zeugen, Leben und Gewohnheiten, keine Auffälligkeiten, bla. Ennis Bowditch, 29, Kopfschutz, Bauarbeiter an der Brücke von Gascogne nach Chamoldey. Zu Hause, nachdem der Arbeitgeber, die Polizei, bla, Tatort keine Spuren, bla. Keine Zeugen, keine Erkenntnisse, bla. Und er hat eine Ex-Freundin. Burley Course, 26 Kopfschuss, Lampenanzünder im Bereich des zentralen Lampendepots. Oh, das ist interessant. Nachdem die Nachbarin Ethel Williamson einen Schuss gemeldet hat, fand Officer Douglas Parson in seiner Wohnung. Parsons untersuchte Daten, fand, dass mit Blut geschwunden wird. Justice aber keine weiteren Hinweise. Nachforschungen zu Corsons Privatleben und Gewohnheiten aber haben keine weiteren Hinweise.
Got a moment, Edwards?
Of course. What's on your mind?
Okay, was war jetzt interessant daran?
Es wurde mal ausnahmsweise nicht vom Arbeitgeber gemeldet.
So, what was found at the crime scene?
A dead body.
Edwards.
Hey, just trying to lighten the mood a bit. Anyway, there was also the word justice written in blood, as you can see on the floor there.
Is that all?
What more do you need? All the pieces are in place. This is the work of the justice killer.
Did you find an Easter lily anywhere?
An Easter lily?
Yes. The justice killer leaves one at every crime scene.
Is that right? I never noticed.
Neither did anyone else, apparently.
So how does leaving a lily at the scene of the crime figure into all of this?
I'm still trying to figure that out, but I think it might be important to understanding his motive.
Well, be sure to let me know if you do figure it out. The thought process of killers is a twisted, curious thing.
What did your examination of the body turn up?
Apparent cause of death was a single gunshot to the head, exactly like all the other victims. The bullet is still lodged in his brain. I'll remove it once I transport the body back to the mortuary.
Anything else?
No personal effects of note, just a folded up piece of paper in his breast pocket. It's blank, so the police weren't interested. I assume you aren't either.
Never assume, Edwards. I'll take it if you don't mind.
Be my guest.
Edwards, did you notice McDonough's desk calendar?
I did. This month has been torn out. I asked the officers investigating the scene, and they had no idea what happened to it.
So it wasn't found in this room?
That's right. My theory is that the killer took it.
Which means there was probably something incriminating written on it. If only there was some way of knowing what it was.
Miles, have you forgotten the oldest trick in the book? Just find a pencil and you'll have that information in no time.
Edwards, do you have a pencil I might borrow?
Of course. Take this one.
Thank you. What's your take on this whole justice killer situation?
It's giving me a lot of extra work, let me tell you. We haven't had a serial murderer in a long time. Not since that fellow who was poisoning people about 10 years ago.
Ah, yes. Gascon Ghoul. Now, there was a case.
Any theories or insights regarding the killer's motive or identity?
That's not really my specialty. If you want to get into that psychology stuff, you're better off talking to someone like Snelling.
Did the police manage to learn anything during their investigation?
Not much beyond what I've already told you. I think they were planning on speaking to the victim's wife, though.
Did you get the address?
I did, as a matter of fact. 1820 Kent Place.
Now we get to deal with the grieving widow. Hopefully the officers who delivered the news got the worst of it.
Does it feel good to be out of the office?
As long as I have the chance to examine a body and learn something in the process, I don't care where I am. Though I do admit a preference to working in my own environment. Fieldwork can be a bit uncertain. There's so much more potential for contamination, especially with those clumsy officers trouncing about groping everything. Present company excluded, of course.
That's all for now, Edwards.
Good luck with your investigation.
A classic trick. Let's see if it works. Aha! McDonough met with this person the night of the murder. I'll bet 500 crowns it's a false name, but at least it's something. Intriguing. We'll need to find out who this Ruby is. It seems the killer didn't want anyone to know about this meeting with McDonough, and possibly not with Ruby either. No time to waste with further conversation right now. You've got a killer to find.
Na gut. Aber wir haben